in this session. And I am Zor, and I'm from Mahidol University, Thailand. And this is a collaboration between Lulu Technology and Mahidol University. And this is the overview of what I'll be covering today. So basically, we try to improve the whisper model for high speech. And so ESR is like quite advanced in like the last few years, like especially like open source model like Whisper and Wave2Vec 2 and like MMS, and there are a lot of like pre-trained models, right? But current off-the-shelf model, they do not perform well in Thai. It's because like we have very limited audio resources, like really well annotated data for Thai language, and basically like we have like around 200 to 300 hours of like a well annotated speech only. And Thai is also like a complex tonal language, so they're kind of like total of like a 5 tones and like a 44 consonants, and it's yeah, it's really hard even like for humans to understand. And so in this graph, we can see that like the y-axis shows the word error rate and the number of like transcribed audio on the x-axis. And the current state-of-the-art model, it is like a Thai Wave2Vec 2. It got around like a word error rate of like 25-ish on the Google Flaws test dataset. And the OpenAI Large V2 has around like a 12 to like a 14 WER. And that's mainly because we have like a very little pre-trained audio, around like 100 hours or so. So we aim to solve that by pre-training on a larger data set by collecting from different sources of like audio. And we hope that we could lower the WER for the Thai speech. And this is the recent work on large audio corpus and model distillation in Thai speech. And Giga Speech 2, we just like released this year, I think they have around 30,000 hours of like basically these are like a pseudo labels, right? So these are not actually human annotated labels. And another work is like whisper models are like pretty big, like especially like the medium and large ones, right? So there's work on like a distillation from Distilled Whisper, right, from Hugging Face. And even though it works really well on English, like model distillation, it has problems on like a low resource language like Thai. I mean, we can see that like the latest model, OpenAI Whisper Large V3 Tavo. So this is like released just last month, right? They have around like once we distill it, the WER increases like a lot on like a Thai speech. So yeah, these are the current situation in Whisper for Thai speech. And so we want to like do two things. One is like train the Whisper model for Thai using our like collected data set. And then we want to do knowledge distillation with limited data sets, right? That we have. Because the previous work here, they use around like 20,000 hours of English speech to distill the Whisper model for English, but we don't have that much data. So okay, so for data collection and preprocessing, we collected like the open source data set that is already available, like Common Voice, Google Flaws, and different Thai speech data set. And so for like a diverse for diversity, we wanted to collect like a audio from different sources, right? Like so we use like a keyword search on Google Trend for like a Thai speech, and then we scrape around 5,000 audios around like 631 hours, and then we clean it, and then in total we have around like 1,300 hours of like a really well annotated audio. And we also wanted to test like outer domain, so basically like the financial data set. And so we create annotation tool to annotate like a opportunity day. So this is like a like a website where like different Thai companies report their quarterly earnings, right? So it's like a mix of like a Thai and English speech. So like there's like a lot of code switching, right, between, and they also uses like they also use like different financial terms, right? And so this is like yeah, the data sets that we collected. And for model pre-training strategy, we used data concatenation method to improve the training efficiency. Basically, Whisper have like a 30-second like a context length, right? So we try to fit as much audio into that as possible, right, in one sample. And then we do like different waveform augmentations, like injecting noises and like a pitch shifting, time stretching. And then we also do like a spec augment, which is like basically masking different frequency band and like a time domain, right? And with all that, we do the pre-training on Whisper models. And another thing is like once we have the pre-trained models, right, we want to do kind of like a model compression or like a distillation. But if we do like the normal way, which previous work did, right, it's just like we have a teacher and a student, and then try to distill the knowledge from the teacher to the student, right? It wouldn't work well at all because we have like a very little data, and the student could never match the level of the teacher's performance. So what we did was like we first align the teacher and like a student prediction distributions, right? And then we discuss the teacher and then try to fine tune from scratch on the like our pre-training data. And so this is like the Distilled model, like a Whisper medium and Whisper small, and we keep the encoder layer the same, and then we reduce the decoder layer to like a 4, right? And these are like the speed up that we got. And for the performance evaluation, we tested on Common Voice, Google Flows, and the Thai Central Dialect development set. And so on these are like a read speech, right? Really clean test data. So our like a model, the Thonburian Whisper, with our augmentation, achieved the highest score in like a word error rate, insertion error rate, substitution error rate, all those like metrics. But the interesting thing is like we have like a reduced insertion error rate as well for all the fine-tuned model, which means that like Whisper is less likely to hallucinate with our pre-trained data. And we also did robustness testing, which is basically we injected like environmental noises into our testing data set, right? Google Flow test set. And then we measure the Bruyere performance called different signal to noise ratio levels. And we can see that the augmentation here like really helps. And then up to like -10 to 0 decibel of like a signal to noise ratio level, the augmented model perform better than the non-augmented ones. But if you go above like a -20, it doesn't really matter at all because the Bruya just like blows up. And this is like on the outdoor distribution data that we collected, which is like the financial data set. And you can see in like, for example, there's like a code switching, right? Like there's a EBITDA margin, and then there's Thai, and then there's like a 2019 and stuff. And we see that like our pre-trained model for like a zero-shot evaluation, our model is like better than the vanilla Whisper models, like which is quite high in the Bruya. And then if we do the fine tuning on the our like our distribution data set, we see that we can get the Bruya to drop pretty significantly. And so with our like pre-trained data set, which is like over 1,000 hours, right? We could reduce the Bruya below 10, and then we could also train a Distilled model, which is like reduce parameter by up to 68.6%, but the WOT error rate is like comparable to the teacher model. And so these are some of the contributions that we achieve from our work. And then we plan to extend to other dialects in Thai language and other lower resource languages. And we have a GitHub repository for all the models and code, and also have a demo on Hugging Face, and you can download and try if you want. And our models are being used in like different applications in Thailand, like for DMind, which is like the depression assessment tool for Thai adults. And we have another one for transcribing medical conversation between doctors and patients. And thank you for listening.